But we are ready to go. Ashley Kleiner's referee, and one of these two sides is going to remain unbeaten after tonight and being with a chance of taking the pre-season challenge. Off the boot of Bailey Bentley Harpy, we're underway, and it will be the most experienced man, Napa, with a first run. It goes totally against the grain of a player with 178 first-grade games out there next to his name. Cops the treatment in the tackle of Ryan Gray, and Lewis Grossamy, who's into the starting side for Souths in 20. They're forced an error. There may be a few mistakes. Both teams warmed up in the practice ground behind the hill here, and it wasn't raining at that time. They go to the rooms, they come back out. Totally different conditions. And
what it has done is take a bit of the heat out of the air. It was awfully hot before the rain came, but the southerly has blown in. The rain is falling here at Belmore, and you're right, there will be errors. There will be mistakes.
To think of other words besides falling or expressions, and I think the viewers know what we mean there. Halalilo tackled. He's playing on the right edge for South Sydney tonight. Back in for Brock Gray with the honour of captaining the side tonight. Gray, part of their New South Wales Cup and state championship winning team. Lovely little dab from Sublu, just a fraction too far. Saw him come on last week, the halfback in the Charity Shield, and play a strong hand in one of the tries.
Yeah, Braden Burns said that he fed him a nice pass for one of his tries last week. So some raps on the half, Jarrett Sublu.
It's quite a story though. We said it last week. 1 minute in first grade. He's played in his time at the Raiders. He got 1 minute. And that's the NRL career for the moment. And now chasing greener pastures with the Rabbitohs. So Roosters out of trouble. Alex Young. So no Dom Young for Vegas. Brother Alex is here. Called him at the World Cup just a few years ago playing for Jamaica. He may, in fact, be a centimetre or two taller than Dom. And that's saying something. So Roosters up over halfway. And I know you're going to come away impressed with this Blake Butter. There's Young out on left wing. Now Moriarty taking off. He's getting great tutelage from the likes of Jake Friend at the Roosters in the academy. And they feel that Tyler Moriarty is a good one. Rusty ball out of acting half. The kick on the deck. Tahauer's with it, and he's going nowhere. And that's a good set from the Roosters. Very accomplished. Let's go down to the sideline. Loving the rain. No one loves it better than our own Matt Russell.
Andrew, Greg, good evening. Great to be at Belmore and the big show in Sydney tonight. What a weird day. Brutal heat, suddenly changed. The rain will be here and away throughout the evening. And you mentioned it, there are players on show here giving the depth of each squad. Players here will stick their hand up as the long season goes on. And it was on show before the game. Some nervous faces. This is a big night for these players. They're on the big stage. They're on television. They want to put their best foot forward.
But there is that pressure element of the club's winning last week. So if we are seriously pursuing prize money, then you'd like to walk away with a victory. It's on your watch tonight. Right side with Ted Party for the Roosters. Christchurch born, wearing the 7 tonight for the Roosters. Hello to all our viewers across the Tasman. Lovely cut-out ball from Grommick. The Roosters a real chance in the corner. There's the first try of the night. And the Fijian Nelly Nassau has scored it. Have a look at the reaction. He has just won the lottery. Now Napa with it. Got a couple of NRL appearances last year, Dylan. But he's in the mix again this season. Now left side, the 6 and 7, Cody Thomas and Joseph Tepati working well early for the Roosters. Last week we were waxing lyrical about the Bulldogs having plenty of their Jersey Flegg Grand Final side on show here against Melbourne. Well, tonight, their opponents from that Grand Final, the Roosters, there's plenty of those players here. There's Tepari, lovely little swerve. Just caught by Hodge. Quick play the ball. Roosters look slick. Kick, ricochet, play on. Pass was rifled back. Roosters have it. Thought they may have got a restart of the tackle count. The kick was from Napa.
That was from Napa. Dylan Napa realised it because he got the call from the referee that it wasn't 6 to go. So Napa did a pretty good job for a front rower to get back onside, pick the ball up and get his boot to it.
I like that in the stats column. More with Leonard Skelton. Dragons fans may remember him from their New South Wales Cup side a couple of years ago, the number 4 for the Rabbits. They're on the end of a bit of an onslaught from the Roosters early. Really impressive from the team coach tonight by Brett Morris. Brimming with confidence, having got the first points now. South a little more direct. There's Cade Maloney on that run, and the kick rushed a little. There was a bit of pressure there. Ball has been coughed up. South Sydney do the same, no advantage. What's the mind putting that one down? But they will come up with the ball.
Well, there was pressure on the kick, and the kick caused enough pressure for the Roosters to drop it, and then swooping on it were the Bunnies, who dropped it again. So things not going the way for either team there.
Bulldogs.
Check the Dogs out. Yeah. Josh Curran, good signing for the Dogs, Josh Curran.
Well, he hasn't found a barber in Australia on coming back from New Zealand, has he? He's got very long hair. Josh Curran. So Bulldogs and Sharks will be good later tonight. Howe has gone into the scrum feeding role there, as we so often see with our wingers these days. Rabbitohs looking to expand. Bentley Harpy there, a former Roosters junior rep. Now South, Ryan Gray has acting half duties. Good technique, Roosters. One down, one over the top. Forcing the mistake in the slippery conditions, lost by Brock Gray.
Well, Brock Gray's one of the most experienced players out there. He started playing New South Wales Cup back in 2015, more than 100 New South Wales Cup games for a number of clubs. Good low shot, and there's been a couple of those too from both sides, like low, hard tackles, and in these sort of conditions, you know that the ball is likely to come free if you can make contact on it.
Xavier Va'a, it was with the lower shot. So relief for that man, Turoa Williams. He was the one who dropped the bomb, getting a touchback for the ball, and Roosters with it. Ethan Clark-Wood on that run. So they're all getting involved now. Corey Ross for the Roosters. In fact, that's the lock forward for Ketty. And this is a real recovery set from the Roosters. Just one out running, get them to the kick, and out of trouble. Again, a real competent showing from how they're going about their business. Burns to bring it back for Souths. Bit of a dream for Burns last week. Couple of tries in the Charity Shield. Not necessarily expecting to play a lot of first grade this year. He's more or less sort of semi-retired, Braden Burns.
Yeah, interested to hear him talk to Matt Russell before the game, and he said he wants to be part of the top 30. He wants to get back into full-time football. It's not that at the moment for him. But the Dogs last year and not wanted for this season, and made a call, and he's back where he was earlier in his career at South Sydney.
Sharks are watching from the dugout here as the Rabbitohs creep up inside the Roosters half. There's Va'a coming up with a shot on Matt French. He was able to offload. I'm telling you, there's some serious football about this number 8 for the Roosters. His backstory is amazing. Rabbitohs 20 away from the line. Maloney was almost through. Gray will get them started. Then Sablu, straight runner. Kalen Miller to play it. Gray dummy half. 5 metres out. Rabbitohs threatening to post first points. And Foketi comes up with a tackle. Quick play the ball for Gray. It is the last. Runs into a dead end. Sablu. Tackle count restarts with a 6 again inside the 10. Souths were able to cool it down. And they will go crash play. Napa over the top. Grommick also there for the Roosters. Right down the railway end of Belmore, and they will get the try. Stretching out is Matt French. One of those players we saw in the New South Wales Cup Grand Final last year. The Rabbitohs on the board.
It was always going to be hard to defend again after the 6 again call went against the Roosters, giving the Bunnies more possession just through the dummy. The defence of the Roosters has been rock solid, but French just able to slip on the outside of one of the Roosters there.
Yeah, first
And it was
contact
Corey
was
Ross.
okay, wasn't it?
Yeah, Corey Ross. He just got on the outside, and then those coming in to help sort of almost might have hindered the process. And that allowed French just to get that arm free, reach out and score the try to square things up.
So he has his moment in South Sydney last year, not only winning the New South Wales Cup, but then getting to play on NRL Grand Final Day and winning the state championship. And against the Brisbane Tigers. So French on the board for South Sydney. And it will be over to Bailey Bentley-Harpy, former New Zealand junior touch rep. South Sydney have a couple actually in their squad. Jude Saldana, number 5, very good on his feet, and so too this man wearing the number 6 tonight. They're big shoes to fill when you've got to fill in for Cody Walker, Brandy.
They certainly are.
Shot still great. That's in memory of Des Hasler, the old wrestling pit out there to the right of the posts. Into the net, doesn't go onto the train line these days. Back in the day, Brandy, when you were kicking for Penrith here, you'd put one onto the train line once or twice.
Over the line.
That is, I'm calling cap there.
Yeah, call it cap.
Yeah, get it
There's
over
no
the train
way,
line.
no way I'm toe pegging it over the try line, over the train line. No way, won't happen. There's the try scorer, Matt French. Bit of fleek for the Bunnies last year, Jersey fleek.
So Roosters, no sign of kick-off again. Tweaks to the rules this year on show tonight. We'll analyse those as they arise, if they arise. We've seen too many short kick-offs from any of the sides in the pre-season challenge.
Which was surprising. I was expecting a few with the change to the rule that really gives you a free kick out.
I'm pressed early too by the number 13 for the Roosters. Cooper Cronk said circle him, and ball being turned over. South Sydney error inside their own 40.
Celesi Fiketti, the 13 for the Roosters.
Looks good. Certainly physical. There he is, wearing 13 on his back. Talk about shoes to fill. He's filling the shoes of Victor Radley here. Harper in the captain's knock roll here. 29 away from the Rabbitohs line. 6-4 score line to the Rabbitohs. Neither side achieved maximum points last week as the Roosters make a mistake. They came up short, the Rabbitohs, in the Charity Shield and the line break count and the offload count. So, while still a chance, they need to absolutely tick every box tonight, which is 5 tries, 5 line breaks, 10 offloads to get the maximum points and win the game, of course.
Yeah. Kobe Thomas coming up with that drop ball.
Don't be fooled by the crowd. That a lot more on the hill before the rain came earlier tonight, and well done from the Bulldogs. Just the common sense to allow fans to come around and seek shelter in the grandstand. Oh no, that's a bad mistake from the most experienced Rabbitoh there. Burns lost the ball, and then a little bit of argy-bargy follows it. I don't know what is the catalyst for that.
Well, I think he came in hard, even though the mistake had been made. Let's just watch it again. Braden Burns just putting the ball down cold.
No, you're allowed to finish your work, aren't you?
Well, you are, because there was no given that it was a knock on. It might have been a knock back. Play on.
He may have felt that it was somewhere around the back of the head, but anyway, he'll be dirty on making the mistake. This is grand opportunity for the Roosters. Scrum. Furthest man back is some 25 metres from the back of the scrum. You can see there on the right side, they can sweep across field. Young is with it. Alex Young, Dewsbury born. What town that is, Dewsbury. You like a dripping sandwich, Brandy? I suggest you find your way to Dewsbury one day.
The best.
The best dripping sandwiches in Dewsbury in the north of England. Roosters 9 metres away from the line. We give travel tips here on Fox League as well. Moriarty takes them left side. Thomas floats it over to Young. Oh, shots! That's a beauty, Saldana. Oh, she put his body on the line there. You heard it. Into your lounge room right there. Roosters with Va'a. He's 5 metres away from the line. Good defence there from Halalilo.
Line's good.
This time, right side, full line. Robek's thrown the ball. It's crisp, it's sweet, and Williams, who dropped the bomb earlier and was feeling a little down, he is now all smiles. The Roosters have their second.
Yeah, nice play on the inside, but then the work done on the outside was just as good. But I thought Tapari, Joseph Tapari, pass went high. He just had to straighten things up, and then they all did their jobs. And the number 4, Ethan Clark-Wood, nice job to get on the outside of his centre, drag the winger in, and put Williams in for the try. Nice play there.
Again, the number 1 plays his role. You know, it's all in the scheme of things, but the sweeping play from fullback into the line.
Yeah,
pay the price for the Burns error, don't they, South?
Yeah, they do. Gromick double pump there just to hold up the defence. They all played their part. Right back into Tapari, who caught the ball above his head and just straightened things up. That's all the half has to do in that situation. Just square the defence up and give your outside men as much possible room as you can.
Played a little bit of New South Wales Cup for Parramatta last year. Over to Tapari, as I said earlier, impressed with a 7 and 6 for the Roosters. His goal kicking not quite on target. 2 tries to 1, 8-6. Roosters over the Rabbitohs through 18 minutes. First game of a doubleheader, Sharks and Bulldogs pre-season challenge exclusive to Fox League. Brett Morris has got a little help there in the box tonight.
Yeah, we just see the try from another angle, and untouched was Williams, the winger.
For Cooper, he can put in 2 invoices tonight. Pretty handy players though, aren't they? Brett Morris, Cooper Cronk, watching over this young talent. Well, there we go. Kickoff is out on the full. It's a big strike. Almost went over the fence. Penalty centre of halfway.
Yeah, that floated a long way over the dead ball line, and after Braden Burns spilt the ball from a scrum win, they'll defend their own half again.
Worth pointing out, the change of rule has no impact on that non-contestable kicks. That's just your garden variety penalty from centre of halfway. But a contested kickoff that went out on the full would be play the ball. Roosters about 30 metres away from the Rabbitohs line. So Moriarty starts them right. Kapati, Napa. This guy Tyler Moriarty too, back surgery last year, disc problem, missed the better part of the season. So he's back at full fitness. Nassau, the first try scorer, aggressive run again. 15 metres away from the Rabbitohs line. Tapati on the right. Don't mind the dummy and little dash at them. Mix it up. French the defender. Moriarty. Roosters in front of the posts. Corey Ross. Good low tackle there. Rabbitohs goal line defence on show. And up off their line, it was good again. That was Noah Reid, who made it count. Bit of size about him, the number 19 for the Rabbitohs. That's exactly what you want to see when you're defending your goal line.
That was a good stop, Andrew, and he came out of the line to put a shot on Feketi, who's we've already earmarked Feketi, the number 13 for the Roosters, as a player to watch. Braden Burns puts on a bit of footwork. There he is. Stopped in his tracks by Noah Reid.
That's Skelton on a run coming in from right centre. Oh, shots! Yes, sir! That is a ripper from Corey Ross there. That had everything in it. Roosters, 5 metres out from their own line. Young to bring it back. Those 2 internationals he played for Jamaica at the last World Cup. Watch this again. Strong.
Yep, and all legal.
11 on 11. Aluni Chanfoon on the end of that tackle. Bit to like about the Roosters so far. And away goes Clark Wood. Roped in, loses the ball. That was determined defence by Bentley Harpy. Bailey Bentley Harpy for the Rabbitohs.
Well, we know he's got a bit of toe, Bentley Harpy, and he needed to, because Clark Wood found himself on the outside of the South Sydney defence. Good ball that. Looked like he was going to hit it up and then just offloaded to Clark Wood. Bentley Harpy showed great pace to track him down. They're in a little bit of trouble if he doesn't make that tackle. And force the error as well.
Yeah, got a good piece of him. Fair chunk of the jersey, but a little stiff in the leg there. Not a great sign going up the tunnel.
That was good play from the Roosters, coming out of their own end. Nice ball to Clark Wood to get him on the outside.
So South a juggle of their own there. That was from Cade Maloney. Skelton. Nowhere to go there for Saldana. South Sydney just on the Roosters side of halfway. Storm, it would appear, is now passed. We'll get confirmation from Matt Russell, but fingers crossed that is the last of the rain tonight. Of course, the Rugby League is up against some rather big events in Sydney tonight, and someone called Taylor Swift is performing.
Is she on, is she?
Yes, she is. Blink 182 are on. They're indoors. Rain won't worry them.
What the rain has done, Andrew, is meant that we're going to get 40 minutes non-stop. And we don't have to have a drinks break at the 20-minute mark, which has already passed.
Dangerous tackle. Pressure on the neck.
So, there we go. Russian tackle on.
Pressure on the neck.
Okay.
Yep. Just twisted as he fell. That was tape. Sublu just spun around in the tackle. Very hard to. You've got to be well aware of what's going on to stop that. That was an accident.
Tyson, what was he on report? Let's go quickly to the sideline. Matt Russell.
Yeah, I've been looking at the radar. I think most of the rain has gone. Back-to-back games, obviously Dogs, Sharks coming up, nearly full-strength teams. Really interesting to see what sort of conditions we get for that game. And at this stage, Andrew, tentatively, I think it's looking to be dry for the rest of the evening.
Good stuff. Oh, shot again. It's the same player. Corey Ross, the Terminator. And stands over Burns, one of the first graders, and gives him a gobful.
Well, back-to-back big hits from Corey Ross. Outstanding stuff. Oh, hang on.
Okay.
You're on report for a high tackle, just here.
He cops it.
Well, the first one wasn't. The first one was a beauty. Oh, I guess that arm just slipped up a little high. Only at the finish. It was body contact fine, and then the arm just slips up around the neck of Braden Burns.
Talk about no emotion to the caution. The eyes just, okay. All right, well, watch me do the next one. Rabbitohs 5 away from the line. Looking to score, close to the posts. The South Sydney goal line defence tested. Now, same deal here. Rabbitohs testing the Roosters. Across with Adam Christensen. Try v Manly 2 weeks ago when the South side had a hit out. Now 15 away from the line. So far so good, the Roosters. That's Matt French, the try scorer, driven back. Ryan Gray takes them to the right. And Sublu sets it up. Burns, a little bit of swerve onto the outside, then back in. Still powering forward. Got a lot closer than he was entitled to there. Gray, Sublu, short.
Corey Ross again.
Noah Reid hit, and that will do us. Corey Ross. We have found a new
Hitman.
Ray Stone-esque defender. Jeez, he looks dialed in the eyes. He looks serious.
There's a bit of Terry Reagan there.
Jeez, we're going back. Oh, Terry Reagan. The man who, before the game, before a television match, wearing headgear just like Corey, cut the hair that came out of the holes in the headgear. And when he took the headgear off, he had all these clumps of hair all over his head. Terry Reagan, what a good man. Tigers, Raiders, Roosters. penalty here for the Roosters. Ash Klein all over it. Don't mind the intensity this is being played at. Now, a lot of people looked at this and said, starless, don't have expectations. We were quite the opposite. We're saying I'm really excited. We've heard some good things about many players across these two sides, and you know, some of them are really living up to the moment, to the occasion.
Well, I thought last week, some of the best moments of last week's was involving players that we hadn't seen before. So we certainly got it on show here between the Roosters and the Bunnies. Players to keep our eye on.
Roosters, Moriarty and Tapati popping that back on the inside. Gray was first man in there. Elsie with another run. Tapari, there you go. Thomas, half and 5'8", combining on an edge. Nassau does his job almost. Busting through a tackle, quick play the ball. Intercept almost. Probably saves a try, to be honest, but he was thinking more than that, Saldana.
He certainly was. Disappointed that he didn't actually grab it, but they were in trouble, South Sydney. It was a 2-on-3. There was two unmarked players on the outside. The Roosters desperately trying to get the ball there through Kobe Thomas.
I watched some highlights of that young man, Jude Saldana, today, playing touch for Australia just a few years ago. Man, he's quick. You would have liked to have seen him gather that in to see how far he could go. He is fast. Jude Saldana. So the touch football community know him well. Roosters with the ball, 10 away. Winks is with it. Caught in the tackle of Bedley Harpy. So Clark Wood, Tapati. And that's a bit more workmanlike. Not looking for space, just hard and run from Zach Sadler. Tapati, Thomas, across. Gromick has got it. Oh! That's a vital tackle by Sublu. Gromick thought he was on his way. And for Nassau. 4 tackles up. Roosters, 12 and a half to go first half. Tapati, little kick, it's right there. And the man who has pulled off tackle after tackle is now a try scorer. Terry Regan-Ross scores the Roosters' third.
Well, he puts his body on the line in defence. He puts his body on the line right here too. This is courageous from Corey Ross, who's made an impact. They converge. He had to throw himself. There was players coming at him. He was somehow able to hang on to the ball despite a big shot from the South Sydney winger. Fekatoa coming in, to Howe coming in. Boy, he hit him hard too, in the ribs. He didn't bat an eyelid, Corey Ross, which has been his shtick. That's his go. Emotionless. Corey Ross scores a try.
Some people say he looks a bit like Larry Bird. Let's go a bit back in the NBA. Any takers on that, Larry Bird, playing in the back row for the Roosters?
It's a bit of that.
But, you know, again, pre-season challenge here on Fox League. First time most of you are seeing these players. You're nothing but impressed with what you've seen from Corey Ross.
Well, it was part of their Jersey Fleck side last year, Posse, and they went as far as the grand final. They were beaten by the Dogs on that day. But Corey Ross, great season for the Roosters in the Fleck, and he's certainly making a mark right here, starting with that one. He got penalised for that, just snuck up a bit high, but put another shot on right close to the line and then showed plenty of courage to get this ball.
You dive down low, you know you're going to cop it in the forehead, the head, wherever. So, here we go. Short. Call that a contested kick-off, but it has the range in from the sideline. So, again, a shout-out to Jason Demetrio, South Sydney coach, watching from San Diego. Other sides scattered across the US. The marketing for Vegas ramped up today. Giant rugby league ball in New York, Brandy. Other side of America. Big countdown to Vegas, and we will be there. We will bring you the season opener live and exclusive right here on Fox League Sunday week. Cancel all engagements. From midday, we will be on air, both games, and the Matty John Show to follow live from Allegiant Stadium. It is one of our biggest days of rugby league ever. Roosters 25 from the south line. Te Pari. Bomb to the corner. Williams gets the first shot. Ball on the deck. Manhandled by Burns. He came over the top of Clark Wood, who barely got a shot at it.
Let's go. On the line, both feet.
Well, 14-6 now, and they put another good set together there. The Roosters work their way down the field. Close enough to put up an attacking kick.
No offload, so 0 in that count, but the 3 line breaks and 3 tries for the Roosters at the moment. They're placed for good bonus points in this one. And the cross here, South Sydney bringing CJ Mundine into the game. Yes, the son of Anthony, the man. He is on the field in number 14 for the Rabbitohs. Skelton was able to stand in the tackle. And a set restart in all of that. The Souths, with 9.5 to go until half-time, they would want to be next to score. This time with Cade Maloney. Roosters down a man at the moment. 20 away, Souths. Lovely left foot step there by Halalilo.
They're going to have to stop the game, guys. It's a head injury. We're on tackle 3.
But they will stop play here.
Oh, no, but
it is Zach Sadler who is down, and his story. You know, he's one of those that played in NRL.
Oh, he's got a bit of blood there.
His last game in the NRL we were calling, where he had the head collision, was with Jesse Sue. Remember that? Yeah, so Sue, Newcastle, fractured skull. That was the last game he played in the NRL.
Because he played Indigenous All-Stars, didn't he? 20,
yeah.
21.
Yeah.
Spent some time in France last year. So he's been around a bit, Zach Sadler. Of course, with Manly, oh, that's a badly broken nose. It's pointing towards the train station, Belmont.
Beautifully put, Greg Alexander. That's why he gets the big bucks. Rabbitohs 15 away from the line. Good low tackle that time from Emery Jolliffe, I think it was. Might have been Alan Holton, actually. It is. And South Sydney just a couple of metres from the line. Dummy half is the Englishman now, Aidan Doolan, Warrington boy. Same place as the darts champion Luke Littler hails from. Let's see if this young talent can perform. He's wearing 21 for the Rabbitohs. He will have a crack at them. That would have been right on cue. That would have been 180 for Aidan Doolan if he scored. Back it comes, Rabbitohs. Still opportunity here. Slow play the ball there from Hodge. South probably need their halfback and 5'8". Sublu, Bentley Harpy to take a little more ownership of the attack here. As I said, it is much doing for South Sydney as there is for the Roosters. It's been relatively easy work for the Roosters in this set. Now Doolan, right side, Sublu, ball, bounce, sent over the sideline. All over the place at the end, a bit of a scrambled egg.
Play the ball in the middle.
Yeah, not happy on the outside there, wanted the ball a little bit quicker. Sometimes the halves can try and do a little bit too much. Sublu probably guilty of that. Sometimes just shift the ball. Just give it to your centres early and let them do something. They're built, they're fast, they're strong. It doesn't always, it's not always necessary to try and put someone through a hole.
Square up, Aidan.
Still an injury update with Matt on the sideline.
Yeah, Xavier Va'a went off with that ankle injury that you spotted, Andrew. I spoke to the Roosters. They're going to try and tape that ankle injury and get him back out there. Let's hope so. 5 carries, 41 run metres in his first stint. We'd like to see more of him. And Zach Sadler with that busted bugle brand. He's from Lake Cargelligo. They breed them tough out there. That nose will be straight. He'll be back on a footy field sometimes very soon.
Busted bugle. There's the ball with Michael Coleman. Up to halfway for the Roosters. It's part of Va'a's backstory, just a champion boxer as a young bloke. And his dad Paul trained them very hard, the boys. There's 3 of them. 3 a.m. runs 3 times a week, Brent. Get up 3 a.m., get out. When they were 10 and 12, like young men, kids, and train them to be future champions, dedicated. It's quite the story. South Sydney. And Saldana, he just looks a mover, doesn't he?
He does.
The leg said became very fast. He takes off. That time, the big hit not effective. Tyson Hodge with a bit of a spin. Doolan, good service. Nice run to follow up from Alalilo. Last tackle, Rabbitohs. Doolan, 25 from the line. They'll kick from the short side. Roosters, Young's there. It was going to be a mix-up, but Young took hold of it and off he goes.
Alex Young looking for the quick tap.
To find the middle.
A disappointing couple of sets they've had down here, South Sydney. Last set finished with an error on play 5. That one, the kick, really not much of a kick. Needed to be higher or and certainly not in the in goal.
There's another good story around the player who's now gone to acting half for the Roosters. Benaya Yoelu. It's his 20th birthday. And unbeknownst to him, the Roosters have flown his parents. They arrived around about 45 minutes before kickoff to see their son play in first grade and on his 20th birthday. Lovely touch.
Oh, that's fantastic, isn't it? There he is there. He's part of the academy, isn't he, Benaya? Heard Cooper mention him pre-game as part of the Roosters academy.
Samoan rep. Actually, the father of Joash Papali, who we'll see later tonight for the Bulldogs. Pele Papali has a lot to do with the young Samoans and knows plenty about him. Got him in a rep squad over in New Zealand. Good run from Burns. Rabbitohs up over halfway. This is one of their better sets of the night.
They needed that from their most experienced, Braden Burns, getting it out of their own end.
Sublu, a juggle, out it comes. Saldana, they're going to call... They're going to say juggle was forward.
Okay, we've got a knock on. That's the ruling. Yeah?
Hang on.
Rock.
Challenge.
Huh?
Challenge.
Well, you can juggle the ball. Like,
He said he touched it, so he gave himself up.
Did the South Sydney hand, did someone stick their hand out there and just get a feather touch to the ball?
Well,
and then own up and say, yes, I touched it. Actually, surely not. That's not happening.
This is interesting on your challenge rules that, you know, you're not
Oh,
there
yeah,
you
the
go.
12.
It's touched.
Yep.
There, but with so many players that are young and they're used to it, are they entitled to a challenge? Are they allowed a challenge?
Well, not on that one, obviously.
No.
Because he did get a touch. And as we heard from Ash Klein, he owned up to it.
No. Mistake number one. You'll learn. Roosters with it. Oh, this has been highly entertaining the first half. That tackle from Tyson Hodge. Hard to dodge Hodge. And Coleman was hammered. Roosters with Whaka Aussie there. The former Bankstown Bull. Good leg drive. Oh, gee.
I've got held to protect your legs.
It's
Back we go,
interesting.
3.
Protect his leg.
Okay,
His legs look fine. Roosters 32 metres away. And Kobe Thomas. A contrast. We start in a monsoon. Now there's sunshine. Across the hill here at Belmore.
Oh,
And there's an offload. Great ball. Faketi is with it. Try the match. Roosters their 4th. They may lock away a bonus point. A couple of them in the first half the way they're going. Classy play.
Well, great work out of dummy half. The boy that we were just talking about, Benaya, throws the dummy. It's a great ball as he's falling to the ground. And Faketi spins out of the tackle from Braden Burns. Important try, 18-6, a couple of minutes short of the break. Yoello, Benaya Yoello. He's the man that just popped the ball, and we just said his parents are out here to celebrate his 20th birthday, so a good moment for the young man. They'll be happy in the stands.
How good? How good is that? That is, yeah, that's a magic moment. And the man who scores the try, very deserving. Try scorer in the Jersey Flegg Grand Final, in fact. This is what we were saying last week. The Bulldogs had Jersey Flegg Grand Final stars on show. There's one of the Roosters. And now he's got a 4-pointer in the pre-season challenge. If you're writing names down, Brandy, you've just about written down the entire Roosters back row, haven't you? Faketi, Ross, Nassau.
Nassau's been very good.
You're making note of them to say, oh, yeah, he's that guy that played at Belmore earlier this year.
Yeah, if you see him at some stage through the year, you would not be surprised from any of them.
Matt Russell sideline at 20 points to 6.
I asked Dylan Napa that exact question before kickoff. He spent the whole off-season training with these men. I said, give me one who's stood out to you. He went straight to Celeste Faketi and said he's shows a lot of promise. He's big, he's strong, and Dylan Napa, having played 178 NRL games, should know a thing or two about playing forwards. It all came off the back of that act of honesty from Nicholas Halalilo, who might be named Nicholas Halo after fessing up that knock-on that no one else saw.
Ross bringing it back from the kickoff. And yeah, Russell with his weather prediction, he was spot on. I think we're going to have good conditions for game 2 tonight. It's a really good battle. Alla and the Bulldogs, Stephen Crichton to skipper the Dogs. Might talk about that in the second half of this one. Looking ahead to tonight. Half-time show coming up. Braithen Astor, Cooper Cronk to analyse opening 40 here. And all the while, we get a little closer to Vegas. Harper, and front on by the Rabbitohs defence. Strong. That counts for more when you get one of the experienced players. That was a good shot from Aluni Champoon. Now the kick from Kobe Thomas. Got 10 New South Wales Cup games last year, Thomas. Ball being brought back by CJ Mundine. Hasn't been an easy path for Anthony Son. He's had a bad hip injury along the way, which has really hampered his progress. Anthony thinks he can make it.
Oh, he said he's had a great off-season, which is good. And just watching him move out there, very light in his feet, CJ Mundine.
I've got to say, looking at him from a distance, you thought Tristan Saylor a little. The way he moved there on that last kick reception. South Sydney, final seconds of the first half. You pull one out of the box here. Brock Gray, I don't think, was looking at the clock. And the Roosters will just complete their work. And very impressive work at that. The side tonight, coached by Brett Morris, the great Brett Morris, Cooper Cronk assisting, have looked very good right from the opening minutes. Have posted 4 tries to 1. And at halftime, it's the Roosters 20 leading the Rabbitohs 6. Rugby League in summer, another full weekend of pre-season challenge, and as the boys talked about at halftime too, World Club Challenge Sunday morning. Panthers and Wigan. Second half underway at Belmore. Bit to do for the Rabbitohs, down by 14. And up against a very spirited and a fair bit of talent on show in this Roosters lineup. Looked really well organised and gone about their work tonight. Brock Gray on that run. He's had a fair deal of hit-ups. Gray, that was his 10th of the evening. And that's a good run from Alililo. Warriors and Central Capras last year for the man wearing number 12 for South Sydney tonight. A bit of Cameron Murray in the play there of Matt French, directing them to the left side. Before half-time really hurt the Rabbits. Push the margin out, another 6. Burns almost through the tackle of Napa. Last tackle, Rabbitohs. Not such a bad set to start the second half. And we'll have a penalty interference.
Brock's blocking.
There we go. You saw this, Brandy. Please explain to our viewers.
The blocker. So you don't have to now, if you stand near the ball and are blocking your kicker, you don't have to make contact with the chase. That you just have to impede his direct line to the kicker. So look, there won't be any. He has to run around. Oh, well, he moved anyway. That would have been a penalty last year.
Yeah.
That's a penalty last year. But if he didn't move and the chaser, the Roosters defender had to run around him, that's a penalty as well this year.
Any deviation from the kick chaser. And now another run. The Roosters were rocking and rolling through the front line of the Rabbitohs and got a forward pass, but the build-up, ominous signs. This Roosters side, now they believe there's confidence about their work as well.
Well, I think this was Celeste Faketi, and it was. Through the tackle there of Sublu, got his arm free, and just as he pushed the ball, there was a contact from the South Sydney defender, and the ball went forward. But very good set from South Sydney to open proceedings. The Roosters hit back with their own pretty handy set on the back of that.
So Vaketti, not quite maybe the height of Satili Tupanua, but looks effective on an edge. As a man who's played a lot of first grade and only injuries have stopped him of late. Off the field is Whakaosi. And that will mean that Eli Nassau will go back onto the field, the man who scored the first try tonight. And went off like a firecracker, as he should. It was a big moment.
Guys. Okay, guys. Okay, come back, guys. Bend your back,
Sydney
Ellen. Bend
20
your back.
away from their own line. Still the goal is to try and come up with
Raise feet, hold here, hold.
first points of the second half for the Rabbitohs. Their opening set was good. They mucked it up at the end.
Go.
Back to square one here. Adam Doolan's work was good at dummy half when he came on. Ryan Gray back out there now to direct them around. Ryan has come across from the Bulldogs to the Rabbitohs. Sublu on that left side. Footing lost there, 8 metres into the Roosters half by Burns. Is he okay? He's a bit ginger. Braden Burns. Can find an injury, sadly, Braden.
He's had a terrible one, hasn't he, throughout his career? Hamstrings, knees. Missed a lot of footy.
CJ Mundine with a bomb that'll fall some 20 metres away from the line. Oh, they had a piece of it. Play on the call. Rabbitohs bouncing around Halalilo.
Yeah.
Last tackle handover.
Halalilo, he was allowed to play on there, but I'm sure he dragged the ball forward and knocked it on. Did well. CJ Mundine put the kick up, allowed his chase to get there. Touch there.
Oh, just an update. Matty Russell's relayed the information. So a couple you can scrub from the Roosters. Sadler won't return. We saw him with the busted bugle, as Dr. Russell put it. And Xavier Va'a, they won't risk him. Right. With that problem that he had in the first half. So two of the big boys out of the rotation in the second half. The Roosters fielding 22 tonight. All clubs in the pre-season challenge can field as many as 28. But both these squads are a lot lighter tonight with so much talent now in America. Nice play the ball. I tell you what, the kid celebrating the 20th birthday, he's had some runs. Your Elu for the Roosters, that was another one. He's more than just live wire quality. We are writing some names down tonight from the Roosters squad. And he is one of them. Number 14 for the Roosters. 30 away from the line. Right up to it again. There was a cry of forward. It went down anyway. Cleaned up by Young.
Play the ball there, standing.
Nice tackle, play the ball. Rabbitohs possession.
Back here, guys, play the ball.
Matt French just holding his ribs after that tackle. The Roosters shifted to this left-hand side, and it was looking ominous for the Bunnies, but the ball in the pass just out in front of one of the Roosters players couldn't handle it.
He's Mingoot now on Va'a, in fact. About the size of him. And his younger brother is bigger. De La Salle is his brother. He is bigger. And Aloysius is the younger boy, and he's got a bit of size as well. They are quite a family. Trio of brothers that the Roosters have. And great defence! Plenty of enthusiasm from the Roosters, putting Leon Tahau over the sideline. He's had limited chances tonight. One of their strike players out wide. They're all over them, the Roosters, at the moment.
Pick up forward, Brock.
Yep, you can't say that this doesn't mean much to the players as we look at the reaction after they get the South Sydney player across the sideline, throw him to the ground. And a lot of those players were involved in the Jersey Flake team last year that was successful for the Roosters.
Straight.
Stepping up the New South Wales Cup this year and further.
With the ball, the Roosters 7 minutes into the second half. So on the bonus point front, still offloads not even on the charts, just the 2 for the night. But they've now made 5 line breaks, the Roosters, so lock in 1 bonus point. And they're 1 try away from a bonus point for try scored. And of course, in control, leading by 14. And across with Romick. Kept it alive. Clark Wood Angles back in field. It is a Roosters side that looks like it has a lot of points in it. I mean, what we're seeing here, 40 mightn't be beyond them the way they're going. Kobe Thomas kept alive. Grubbock, beautiful. Fekatoa with it. It's a beautifully constructed try by the Roosters. Chiron Fekatoa scores another one of the Roosters jersey flag squad from last year.
Well, they looked like they were building to something right throughout that set. Some good play down the right-hand side of the field. They then sweep it back towards the left. And the number 3, Fekatoa, coming from that right side, sweeping around to the left, just too fast for the South Sydney defenders. Didn't have to use Alex Young, his winger on the outside. Nicely played there from Kobe Thomas. Their hands were good on the inside, and then the speed of Fekatoa was too good for the Bunnies.
You played a bit of fullback in your time. Look, I'm not going to go over the top on what we've seen from Grommick, and you know, you play what's in front of you, but he's had some really good touches, Brandy. He obviously has some football nous about him, the fullback, and it's the modern day fullback, the way he's got a bit of ball play about him.
Yeah, and he's just got that ability to move too, boss. You just see, we haven't seen him in the open, but he's got that ability to beat a player. 22, he's the local player of the year down in the Wollongong competition last year. His mates call him Wings, so there's a lot going for him.
Yeah. Burns with that injury wants to battle on, but the assignment for the Rabbitohs is a big, well, it's a mountain now. At 18 the difference. 5 tries, there's another bonus point, so they've locked up 2 of the points. As Brett Morris say, offloaded every opportunity now. And the kick now is perfect. So Te Pāti has his best of the night. Commanding lead for the Roosters. Brett just said, Trent who? I'm here and I'm not moving. Matt Russell sideline.
As you mentioned, a host of promising players in this Roosters lineup. Flegg success last year. They'll step up to New South Wales Cup. You can see the New South Wales Cup on Fox League. And last year, the Roosters returned to the New South Wales Cup, but because of an ongoing contract, siphoned off a big portion of players to North Sydney. But that contract has expired now. Norths, the Bears, aligning with Melbourne. So every fringe player at the Roosters will play for the Roosters in the New South Wales Cup in 2024.
Yeah, full coverage right here on Fox League. Best coverage of the greatest game, and we'll prove it again from Vegas. The show's 360. The Fan, the Matty John show coming to you from Vegas, and then the only place you see both matches right here, including the very first match, Manly and South Sydney exclusive.
Yeah, Nassau decided to run into the defence there as they come back down this left side. And there was a chance to play before, but Nassau didn't look to his left. He ran into the centre and winger. A little pass on the outside puts them down that touchline on the play before. They came back down that side, the short side. Nice play from the dummy half, ran open, came back to the blind. They had probably should have gone through the hands and not directly to Alex Young. I would have liked to have seen Fekatoa get the ball in his hands again and try and do something before Young got it in his hands.
What you were saying earlier, now that you've seen a little bit of Fekatoa, halfbacks, you don't have to overthink things. Give them a little bit of space.
Just give him the ball. Give him the ball.
South Sydney on halfway. So they went with slightly less. They just had 21 in their squad tonight. I'm pretty sure everyone's now had a run. Has Yaleem Gordon been out there for the Rabbitohs, the veteran? South 30 away from the line, and a penalty blown there.
Well, they need a bit of ball. They need a string of possession, the Bunnies, if they're to reduce this 20-point deficit.
So they certainly have the field position here. Cade Maloney on play number 1. Townsville Blackhawk, the Queensland Cup game, so good experience coming into tonight. And there's another shot. You know who that is? Larry Bird, Corey Ross on that right side. We were looking at images of Larry Bird at half-time. Dead set. This is his son playing out there. Which is quite a story.
He puts everything in them, doesn't he?
He's
Corey
good.
Ross, everything.
He's good. Rabbitohs And that time, the shot from Yoelu, just a few metres away from the line. Gray up, Sublu, flats. Rabbitohs answers aplenty from the Roosters defence. Last tackle, and a dominant one. Gray, they're just going to go a crash play and lose the ball. Not a great deal of imagination there from the South Sydney side.
No, the kick should have been better. Fifth tackle play should have been a lot better than what South just dished up then. A little disappointing in that department at the back end of the first half. They got a couple of sets on the Roosters line, but just couldn't come up with anything to add to their points.
Your man Fekatoa with a tough carry, out of trouble for the Roosters. On the big plays, the Roosters have outplayed South, but I think even in the little things they're doing better. There you go, 5 tackles, long kick, searching kick. What a kick that is! That's a 20-20, I think, from Kobe Thomas. Did he kick that from inside the 20?
Well, if he wasn't inside the 20, he was only just outside it, Andrew, and the angle, he had no room to work with. Just inside the tram line there, and lobbed it over the winger's head. That was... Saldana was backpedaling, and he couldn't do anything about it.
No.
It was perfect.
Wouldn't see better. Wouldn't see better from the best general play kickers in the NRL than what you just witnessed there. Michael Coleman on the restart. Roosters line up to the right side of the floating pass. Ill-directed. Oh, that wasn't good. They got a bit excited there. Bit of white line fever.
Well, the play was on. The play just not executed. The winger was in the open. The Roosters winger, Williams, was in the open. But just misdirected pass.
You have to have a little more width there, the winger. Was there any reason to be infield as much as he was?
Well, that Harbour Bridge pass generally is the winger tucks himself a little bit just so the other winger doesn't follow him out there. They lop it in the air and the winger runs around and then tries to straighten up. It is a really specific and hard pass to judge.
Now 25 or a little more minutes remaining for South Sydney. Just the one try they've scored in this one. So bonus points the furthest thing from their mind at the moment as Gray takes off with a nice carry of some 10 or 11 metres. They're inside the 40 of the Roosters again. Burns left, and Clark Wood comes up with another good play tackle there. He's enjoying his work tonight, and the Rabbitohs error.
Bring it in 10 down.
Well, it all goes wrong there. Leon Tahau just hasn't had the opportunities, and now from a simple play, a dummy half. Oh dear. Geez, they don't learn, do they? Last tackle play, and you put the statue behind beside to play the ball. You know, like, they've got to get out of that habit. They're giving away a penalty rather than play the ball. The referees are going to be onto it.
It'll take a while, but they'll get it. They'll get it. It won't take that long, Andrew, but they should know now. But just habit. Those middle forwards just standing around, loitering around to play the ball, they'll get penalised.
Because that would have been interference on a second marker, chasing out to put pressure on the kicker. That would have been blatant penalty had South not knocked on a dummy half.
Yeah.
Kobe Thomas been feeling good about the 40-20, and now Yoelu there. 40 away from the South Sydney line. 5 tries in the bag already. And the high ball from Thomas. He's kicking, coming to the fore. Undine is onto it. And that is very Tristan Saylor, like that catch and return. Jay Mundine, at 22 years of age, with a start here tonight. Here he is again. Effective tackle from Raimuku. He's on now in the Roosters colours, number 19. Another one of the fleet players from last year. Gray places this one between fullback and winger. Young has a little peek over the right shoulder. And happy to see that just bounce over the sideline.
On the 20.
One set closer to victory for the Roosters.
I'm sure South would have liked to have kept that in play. Sublu just finding touch there, but really needed to find the in-goal area and put a bit more pressure on the Chooks.
Roosters' turn to come out of trouble. Toa with that run. For a moment was in a more or less a crusher tackle position. He may have a bit of cramp there. The centre, yeah, nothing more than that. No shortage of physicality in this game. There's been some good solid hits from both teams, more from the Roosters, of course. Moriarty is back on, the dummy half. There's solid contact again, but power in the legs. The Roosters are up over halfway through Foketi. In fact, the previous play was Fakaosu. And now this has just been a direct set, 46-metre gain. Roosters, good game management. Bomb at the end of it. Put a bit of pressure on. Indeed, spin and catch there.
Saldana almost got in the road there. CJ Mundine doing a good job under the high ball. I look for a spread, South Sydney, but well wrapped up. Braden Burns.
Poor old Leon Tahau, he is like the cat on the hot tin roof. He came looking for the ball, got in the middle. Saldana's coming off the wing as well. These are a couple of their flyers that, well, the ball's not finding them. Let's go and play a scouting mission. Skelton on that run. They've all got the message, the outside backs, followed up there by Chase Chapman. Rabbitohs through 4 tackles. Doolan gets another stint at acting half, the Englishman. Here they are on the last play. Cleared the ruck of any just forward standing in the way. Burns' leg, he is really struggling. Braden Burns now, good catch there by Williams. But Burns is hobbling about, ankle strapped.
Well, you'd get him off. If he's not 100% fit, you'd get him off. It's a trial. With plenty of players sitting on the bench.
Russell will tell us in a moment, we haven't seen any of Yolene Gordon, who we're told would be playing tonight. Hasn't played NRL since 2011, now 36 years of age. And spotted him down on the bench. Moriarty is right up the hay, diddle. And Wicks, with a flourish of the whip, scores. Callum Gromick scores for the Roosters. This is a big night for the red, white and blue.
Yeah, lovely play there from Tyler Moriarty out of dummy half. Started the game in the dummy half position, just holds the markers up, throws the dummy, sneaks in behind the defensive line, looks for support, and the fullback arrives. Timing was perfect there from Gromick.
Yeah, well, that may as well be Brandon Smith finding James Tedesco. I mean, that's just beautifully played out by the Roosters. Moriarty, dummy and run. Here looms the fullback. As I say, let's not go over the top. It hasn't been a dazzling performance, but the way he's gone about his work has been impressive, the fullback.
Well, sometimes, Andrew, players don't have to do that much for you to go, oh, this bloke can play. Like, he doesn't have to, create tries, score like, no. You just take notice of how he moves, what he does in defence, and he looks like he's got it. 22, Callum Gromick.
You played a bit, well, you know plenty about Mary McGregor. It's ironic he wins the Paul McGregor medal in the All-Ireland Cup because Paul was a late bloomer.
He was.
A late bloomer.
25, 26.
And then goes on for New South Wales and Australia.
Becomes one of the greats. The great Blues.
Let's go down to the sideline, Matty Russell.
Yeah, Callum Gromick has certainly taken his opportunity. Poor Yolene Gordon, meant to start in the front row for Souths, didn't even get his. You mentioned 36 years of age, an NRL debut in 05. Last played in the top grade 2011, but has been around South Sydney ever since and is such a spiritual part of the club. He went away with his daughter's touch team, was scheduled to fly back in plenty of time to play in this game, but because of the forecast storms, because of the Tay influx of fans, Sydney Airport rescheduled all the flights today, and Yelene was the big loser in all that. He was stranded. His flight couldn't get back in time. He didn't make kick-off. He's forced to watch from far away.
I'm blaming Taylor Swift. She gets a run in the story. Well, there you go. Well, that is unfortunate, Yelene Gordon.
It is.
And I'm sure he's
some sort of story, isn't it? 2011, last time he played NRL, he's still playing footy. He must love it. He must just love it.
His experience would have been appreciated out here with the Rabbitohs by themselves on the end of a big scoreline, 32-6. See, I say it seriously about the offloads. If you really want to play the bonus point game here, you are telling the Roosters last 18 minutes, let it get a little loose, push the offload. At the moment, they're just running freely, posting tries. The fullback's got a double, just like he did in the Illawarra Grand Final last year. I said 40 was not beyond them. Let me reassess. It may be the half century.
Yeah, they have been clearly the better side in this second half. Clark Wood having a great game down that right touchline. Moriarty out of dummy half. There's Clark Wood just going into some space. Looking back on the inside, finds the fullback. Callum Gromick is there. Speed gets him past the cover defence of South Sydney before he takes the ball. The halfback doing a good job, Joseph Taipari. Nice little catch and pass there to put Clark Wood into some space. And it's been a bit of an exhibition this second half from the Roosters.
When we used to watch the NYC, it could get loose. You know, we had some massive blowouts and massive scorelines. The structure of the way in which the Roosters have played tonight, it's quite obvious that there is a style of play that they wanted from this team, and it is to mirror what they do in first grade.
And it's worked beautifully. And Brett Morris said just that before the game. His first year as a coach on his own. He's been assistant, but he is looking after the New South Wales Cup team.
And Kobe Thomas with a shot, and the Roosters are just, well, they're on fire with 16 and a half to go here. It's a massive scoreline. I know it's not the big derby, but when the Roosters put a score on the Rabbitohs, I'm telling you, the Roosters fans are curling the mo. They're pretty happy about it.
There's some bragging rights involved. Of course there is.
Down the track, as we know, two sides in Vegas. Roosters against the Broncos. That will be the second game we bring you on Fox League. The Rabbitohs in the season opener, exclusive to Fox League, against Manly. On that note, how good has it been? Russell Crowe ramping up his social media this week, putting posts out, promoting the game of rugby league. A genuine supporter getting right behind the game.
I did see the Wolverine is getting involved.
This is good.
Once it hits Vegas, I think he's waiting for you to get there.
Is that right? There we go, way back. Roosters outside the 30. Moriarty got them started. Everything you could ask for a Benaya Urelu, he has done here. He's a very busy player. And that will have travelled forward. Ash Klein's got that. He's in early season form. Roosters get one wrong there.
Where do you want it?
Sharks and Bulldogs coming up. A chance to ask you about the Crichton captaincy call for the Bulldogs. What's your reaction, Brent?
I think it's a great move. I really do. I think there is something about the personality of Stephen Crichton. There's a real presence about him. And I think even though 23, he's experienced everything. Grand finals, state of origin, played for Samoa, and he's got the right personality for the captaincy to improve him as a player.
Okay. That is a ringing endorsement from Greg Alexander, and you will see Crichton as skipper of the Bulldogs tonight against the Sharks. Good Friday night entertainment, and get you ready for the NRL season proper. This is a good hit out. Plenty of stars on show tonight. Sharks and Bulldogs. Ahead of another big weekend. A reminder, we have coverage of the World Club Challenge on Sunday morning Rabbitohs, Bentley Harpy, and now Tahau gets his chance, and he does it with ease. Leon Tahau, we know there's a footballer here. Very few chances tonight, but he gave it an Alex Johnston-style finish to that move.
Yeah, Leon Tahau's had few chances, as have the Rabbitohs. It's barely any time down this end of the field, especially in this second half where the Roosters have run in 3 or 4 tries. Nice play down that left side just to get Leon Tahau in some open spaces. The Braden Burns pass too good for the Roosters defence of Clark Wood and Williams. And the Bunnies get a try in this second half after standing at the other end of the field for most of the night.
A couple of young wingers in their squad, although Tyrone Munro,
who's injured, collarbone, looking at 6 to 8 weeks.
You never know what's going to happen.
Campbell Graham with a sternum injury that's going to keep him out for at least 6 months.
But we asked Jason today, Jason Demetrio, in an interview while he was there in San Diego, who is he looking, tip us into someone tonight? And he straight away he said, I want to see Leon Tahau tonight. He's in our top 30. So let's hope he gets a big last 13 minutes in the game. 46 to 10. And the shot at goal from Bentley Harpy. The 2 tries, so again, long way from bonus point territory here. And the Roosters, who last week in their win over Manly picked up 14 of the possible 15 points, right at the moment they are going to pick up another 14. You never know.
You never know.
It might be enough.
You never know. They had to come up with one quick, and they were able to do that. So let's see if South Sydney can put a little bit of pressure on this Roosters side that have looked clearly the better side so far.
8 line breaks to 3 in the contest. Roosters have had 57% of the ball. That's the ladder right now in the pre-season challenge. Newcastle, Canberra Dolphins, the sides to get the maximum number of points last week. Now that's a game we're looking forward to tomorrow. Newcastle and Melbourne from Fiji. Newcastle may emerge as the pre-season challenge champions, and there's been a great promotion in the week there. Both clubs to be congratulated. South Sydney inside their 40, a little more lively in this set. Mundine into the play, but onto his back in the tackle of Holton, Alan Holton there. He picked it up after their second try, Cade Maloney. It's been a very high and intense set from Souths. Kick on the end, they'd love a mistake. They're not getting one from the Roosters fullback Gromick there. 12 to go and 26 the difference. Williams into the play. Impossible to miss with the striking pick boots. Now Clark Wood. He's got better as the game has gone on, Ethan Clark Wood. Played it tough. Some good attack as well. I'm sure the Roosters will be thoroughly satisfied with the performance of this team tonight and in what the goals were set. And individually, players that have put their hand up. They say, well, we have a little better than average as the ball goes to Kobe Thomas. He's got a boot on him. Mundine underneath it. 5 away from his own line. And there you go, at another area. Chase was perfect from the Roosters. Was the fullback who led the way. Across with Tahau. Thrown down in the Ross tackle. He still provided some of the highlights of the night. Corey Ross, number 11 for the Roosters. Again, the defence is physical. That was by Nuku and Holton there. They've picked it up at this set defensively, the Roosters. 4 tackles there. They are making life very tough for the Rabbitohs here. Mundine, and then put down an unforced error. And the Roosters, they get chance with Williams, now over on the left wing.
Well, put that down to the Roosters' defence, and you said they were making it difficult for them, Bossy, and that's exactly right. Found it hard to make ground in that set, and then the final tackle just enough to jolt the ball free. And give it to the Roosters.
So now we've got Jolliffe in the pink boots on the right wing, and we have Williams in the pink boots on the left wing. He has swapped sides with Young off the field. It's coming Williams' way. He's got a sight of the line, but wrapped up by Bentley Harpy there. Ketty dummy half. They could be in the 40s in just a moment, the Roosters. Dropped off there by Holton. And ball dropped off into the South Sin goal. Getting the accolades there, Brock Gray for his defence.
Yeah, Brock Gray, he's been tough for South Sydney tonight, hasn't he? Plenty of carries, strong in the middle. Strong against a Roosters outfit that have looked very good. Contact on the ball.
Sharks and Bulldogs not too far away here on Fox League on this Friday night. Coming to the pre-season challenge, exclusive to the home of Rugby League. Coming regular finalists, the Sharks. Bulldogs looking to find their way back into the top 8 this year. Brock Gray, or rather the run there of Caelan Miller. I think they're feeling a little beaten here. There's no drop in intensity from the Roosters at all here. Chase Chapman on that run. Doolan. Just gone nice and direct here. Offload, that will help. Burns with the ball. And no gap appearing on the edge there. 4 tackles up. Doolan on a roll. Burns a kick. Turns Gromick around and skidding ball. Gets the job done again.
Yeah, their intensity in defence will make Brett Morris very pleased with their performance and their effort in that area. This late in the game, and they're still putting pressure on every ball carrier from South Sydney. That's, speaking of defence, that's big Brock Gray again.
That was on Harrison McKeon. The former Glebe Dirty Red out there in jumper 18 for the Roosters. Great to have Glebe represented here tonight in the 3rd tier. Roosters back 10 short of halfway. Alan Holton. They want the kick. Now they got the chance to run. It's time for Williams to go again. Support on his outside. McKeon is with it. The Glebe Dirty Red has put in a magic kick. And the Roosters have got another one. Michael Coleman on the end of all that. Another special try from the young Roosters.
And I think it was the work right up the other end of the field. Kobe Thomas, who just held the ball up, looked like he was going to kick at 5th play. They decided to run after he saw some space. Terrific ball out to the centre, who took off. The 18 for the Roosters, Harrison McKeon, puts a great kick back on the inside. The South Sydney chase ran past the footy. It'll look great from front on. Right foot outside of the ball. South looked like they had a play at it. It was to Howe, but the Roosters in their numbers waiting for the ball to bounce.
The kick, the man who kicked it, normally a fullback from the Glebe Dirty Reds that play in the Ron Massey Cup, the 3rd tier. Glebe, one of our founding clubs, and he's had a moment there. A really special kick back infield, and Coleman on the end of it. That is a beautiful rugby league try by the Roosters.
Well, they've scored plenty, Vossi, as the kick goes through. And that was the best of them. Tate Parry doing the goal kicking, the number 7, to get it to 42.
Here at Belmore, the spiritual home of the Bulldogs, Dale Finucane out in the crowd. He's up by the double cone with Flake. Top of the hill. Why wouldn't you? They love him, Bulldogs and Sharks fans there. But Bulldogs and Sharks on a Friday night still to come. Doubleheader from Belmore. It's been great to get back to this ground in the pre-season challenge. The Souths go in between. 25-metre kickoff really achieves very little. Gromick with the ball there at fullback for the Roosters. 42-10 Bulldogs are getting ready. Game faces now on. So many new recruits. Drew Hutchison there, centre of screen. Ready to make a mark again tonight in the pre-season challenge. Having won against Melbourne last week, got 14 points, 14 bonus points for that. Now with Kobe Thomas. This time with Holton. They're on the front foot again. Coleman through the centre. What a night they're having. By not call for the line. They've cut him down. To Howe from behind. Sione thought he was scoring for sure. They will still get over. It is Emery Jolliffe who scores in the corner. One of the GPS boys in the ranks these days in rugby league. That number is climbing. Former student of St Joseph's College, famous rugby union college in Sydney. But the Roosters, the Brett Morris coach Roosters, have put on quite a clinic. Play the ball and burrow low. And in a moment, they'll be too shy of 50 if they convert the try. You could ask for no more from this Roosters side tonight. A lot of individual contributors as well. We in the commentary box have said, well, get a little loose, go the offloads, do all that. No, they have stuck to their structures and their process and all those buzzwords and have got there to a very big scoreline. 11 line breaks next to the Roosters' name at the moment in the stats. 6-10 it will remain. Moriarty back on. There's the Bulldogs captain on show, Stephen Crichton. Really looking forward to this one tonight. So Roosters, they will pull up at 14 bonus points each week from their 2 wins. And the Rabbitohs 1 win, 1 loss. And just the 2 tries tonight and not close enough in any of the other categories. So Roosters have the ball on their own 20. I reckon I'm backing them for the 50. And they're playing so confidently. Of course, it's unlimited interchange. That always helps in the pre-season challenge. Now they'll sweep left again. Robbie comes up into the line. Williams with it. Takes a good tackle to stop him. Thought he was away. The defensive work of Aluni Chanfoon there was spot on. Back in field with Coleman. Right on halfway for the Roosters. Play number 4. They look just as confident going left to right as right to left. Here they are, left to right and put down there by Thomas. He was half through the gap, lost the ball. 3 minutes to go, 46-10. Burns battles on with that left ankle strapped. Highly inconvenienced. Mundine, tackled by Coleman. Now for Doolan, what an experience. Out from Warrington, chasing a dream. And he's handled himself okay tonight. This time with Cade Maloney. So Burgess opened his coaching career at Warrington last week with a loss to Catalan.
Man in unnecessary around that leg area.
Klein delivering a late penalty there. The Souths to have one more serious attack on the Roosters line.
On report. Previous set.
Report. So this tackle. Oh, there you go. Jeez, it's awkward. Look at that replay. That's some twist on the leg. On report, Aluni Chanfoon for the Rabbitohs, who right now find themselves 9 metres away from the line. Just one try in each half for South Sydney. Promising start, but only in patches have they really looked dangerous. Ball with Medley Harpy there. Aidan Doolan. Nice to ride home and say, I got to try. Kick from Mundine was blocked.
Okay, your bloke touched it all, played it.
And he's offside there.
Offside.
And once he touched it, it's not accidental offside. He played at it. It's another penalty to South Sydney. Roosters won't get a chance to get the 50 here unless there's an intercept up for grabs. Where's the HIA? Oh, out the back they'll go.
We're not waiting
And
for
it is
him,
our
it's
Larry
so we're
Bird
playing on
lookalike.
the HIA, so it's something for this one.
Corey Ross. He's had a night. There he is. Google
That's all right,
images
we're
of
not
Larry
waiting for
Bird
him.
now and compare it to Corey Ross. See what you think.
That's
South Sydney, 10 away from the line. And Grossamai tackled in front of the upright. Doolan
Pick it up.
resists the urge to go for a run at the line. Tahal with a kick off the legs. Then a bit of razzle and dazzle.
Okay, so
It's
it's
a
not
scrappy
played out
end.
by the Roosters is the ruling.
As Klein explains, not played out by the Roosters. How keen are they to pack the scrum? Oh,
Okay,
no, we're
lucky
not
we
having
have
a challenge.
captain's challenge.
We're not
I'm
having
sure
a
the
challenge at
decision, the ball is
46
not
to 10
played
with
out
50
by
seconds
the
to
Roosters.
go.
The ball is in touch from the kick from the Rabbitohs.
There's got to be a rule against that.
One.
Get me Peter Volandis.
Ball's kicked by
Anyway,
the
they're
Rabbitohs.
challenging this, saying not played at.
Not played out by the Roosters. He just continues his normal run to make a tackle. Playing on at this point with the live ball.
So still not played at. That was the original call, backed up by the bunker. And
Now touches the
there we
line
go.
off South.
Intersection
The challenge is
lost
unsuccessful.
at 46 to 10 down. When you lose the
Play the
challenge,
ball on
it's
the
not your
20,
day.
Marcus.
Not your day at all.
Play the ball on the 20. Race speed on the line. No more
Well,
challenges
Roosters
now.
fans, Cooper Cronk is back in the commentary box getting ready for Bulldogs and Sharks. Just nod your head. Have they got a trick shot in the last 50 seconds? Yes, they do. All right, let's see if they can produce something here. Cronk-esque, a kick for the corner maybe. That time,
Stand there.
Urelu with a run. Happy 20th birthday to Benaya. He's had quite the occasion. We told you the story earlier. Parents flown out from New Zealand, totally unbeknownst to him.
Straight up
They
top.
lob at the ground an hour before kickoff. They are going to have a good night. Holton trying to get through the setup.
Stand
Maybe
there.
time for one last play. Here it is. No, there won't be.
Oh, the ball was played.
Anytime. Roosters, a good night's work for them
Make it.
to wrap up their pre-season campaign. And the next time we see the Roosters, you know where that is. It's in Vegas. Big win over the arch-rival South Sydney. You've watched lots of young talent on show right here on Fox League full-time. Roosters 46, South Sydney Rabbitohs 10.